Costa Rica. Today it's famous for its rainforests, its coffee, and its peaceful reputation as the country without an army. But behind this modern paradise lies a history full of mysteries, near-forgotten battles, bold experiments in democracy, and choices so unusual that they reshape the country forever. This is the story of Costa Rica, where ancient stone spheres defy explanation, a teenage drummer became a national hero, and a nation decided to trade its soldiers for school teachers. Let's begin long before Columbus arrived, when Costa Rica was a bridge between worlds. Positioned at the meeting point of Mesoamerica and South America, this land was home to cultures that borrowed, blended, and created. From the north came jade-working traditions, from the south, mastery in gold. Costa Rican artisans combined the two, creating dazzling ornaments that still astonish archaeologists. And then there are the stone spheres, enormous, perfectly round balls carved by the Diquís people, some weighing over 15 tons. Scattered across the landscape, no one knows exactly how or why they were made. Were they boundary markers, celestial guides, symbols of power? Even with modern technology, we still can't solve their mystery. In 1502, Christopher Columbus landed on the Caribbean coast during his final voyage. His men, dazzled by local gold ornaments, named the land Costa Rica, the rich coast. But Spain soon discovered there was no great wealth here. No silver mines like in Mexico, no sprawling civilizations to conquer. Just dense jungle, tropical disease, and scattered communities. For this reason, Costa Rica became known as the poor, overlooked, and left to fend for itself territory. And that made it different. With little indigenous labor to exploit, Spanish settlers often had to farm the land themselves. Unlike much of Latin America, Costa Rica developed a society of small farmers rather than vast estates. That independence of spirit, born out of neglect, would echo through its history. Fast forward to 1821, the rest of Central America declares independence from Spain after centuries of colonial rule. In Costa Rica, news arrives weeks later by courier. There are no battles, no uprisings. Independence simply happens, quietly. This peaceful transition set the tone for Costa Rica's future. While its neighbors were drawn into civil wars and political upheavals, Costa Rica's path remained comparatively stable. If gold didn't make Costa Rica rich, another gem did: coffee. Introduced in the early 19th century, coffee thrived in the fertile volcanic soil of the Central Valley. Soon it became Costa Rica's chief export. So valuable it was called the golden bean. Profits from coffee built schools, bridges, and even the magnificent National Theater in San Jose. But coffee did more than fund infrastructure. It fostered literacy, a middle class, and political participation. As one Costa Rican saying goes, coffee built the nation. Yet there was a quirky twist. In the early years, coffee had to be transported by ox cart across the mountains to the Pacific port of Punta Arenas, then shipped all the way around South America before reaching Europe. The journey could take months, but it put Costa Rica on the world map. Perhaps the most dramatic chapter came in the 1850s. An American adventurer named William Walker invaded Nicaragua and set himself up as president, dreaming of building a slaveholding empire in Central America. Costa Rica was next on his list. In 1856, Costa Ricans marched north to stop him. The climactic Battle of Rivas pitted farmers and shopkeepers against Walker's mercenaries. Amid the chaos, a poor teenage drummer named Juan Santamaría volunteered for a desperate mission: to set fire to a building where Walker's men had fortified themselves. He succeeded, but lost his life in the flames. His sacrifice turned the tide of the battle, and Walker was eventually forced to retreat. Today, Santamaría is Costa Rica's national hero, proof that a single act of courage can change history. Despite its reputation for peace, Costa Rica did face turmoil. In 1948, a disputed election triggered a civil war, the bloodiest event in the country's modern history. Emerging from the conflict was José Figueres Ferrer, a reformist leader who made a stunning announcement. He was abolishing the army. It was a radical gamble. Could a small nation in a turbulent region survive without a military? Costa Rica decided it was worth the risk. Instead of funding soldiers, money went to teachers, doctors, and engineers. In time, this bold experiment paid off. Costa Rica achieved some of the highest literacy and life expectancy rates in Latin America. In the late 20th century, Costa Rica embraced another bold identity, the Green Republic. It pioneered national parks, reforestation, and ecotourism. Today, more than a quarter of the country is protected land. Costa Rica also became a leader in renewable energy, running almost entirely on hydropower, wind, and geothermal sources. In some years, over 98% of its electricity comes from clean energy. This focus on peace and the environment made Costa Rica a global model, the Switzerland of Central America. Costa Rica's history is a story of paradoxes. Called the rich coast for gold it didn't have, dismissed as poor but freer than most, forged not by conquerors but by farmers, defended by a teenage drummer, and strengthened not by armies but by schools. From mysterious stone spheres to a nation that runs on green energy, Costa Rica shows us that history isn't just about battles and empires. It's about bold choices, small sacrifices, and the courage to be different. And that is the journey of Costa Rica, from gold to green republic.